Welcome to our episode on Investor Secrets. I'm Phil Cutting, founder of Line Pro Dev and business analyst by heart. Today, we're diving into the deeply exciting world of tech investments, specifically the trends you simply can't afford to miss in 2024. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just getting started, these insights will guide you in making your smarter decisions in this ever changing industry. Today, we're going to talk about key trends to watch in 2024, especially as it comes to an end, provide an analysis of 5 emerging technology companies, and showing real-time data comparisons and projected market growth, offer practical insights, and capitalize on these trends. So, guys, ready to dive in? Let's jump right in. AI market growth is one of the big trends we're looking at. So, the global AI market is projected to grow from 136 billion in 2023 to over 500 billion by 2028. I got the feeling that's going to accelerate. First of all, we have AI that's already transforming industries such as healthcare to logistics to finance. We have increased funding for AI startups, has skyrocketed over 150% over the last 2 years. It's only going up, especially more so as we are teased with AGI. So, how can investors help capitalize on these opportunities, right? We're looking at early investments in AI focused companies. We want to look for companies and industries heavily integrating AI, for example, autonomous vehicles, AI driven healthcare solutions, finance. There's a lot of AI in e commerce and in social media. It's actually so those are the big four that I'm looking at. Consider ETFs focused on AI driven technologies, which offer diversified exposure. So we're looking at seeing how we can use AI to help us focus on investments that are going to be beneficial. There's a lot of technology recommendation models that are coming up that can help people make transactions to be more profitable. AI companies to watch, or we're looking at specialized companies that specialize in AI algorithms for autonomous driving, right? Go Tesla. And I think GM is also making some big leadway in this. We have leading AI solutions for healthcare diagnostics. And if we look at the trends, we can track. If we look at 130 billion in 2022, and with the expected 380 billion in 2028, I think it's going to accelerate, right? This is fairly linear, but I think it's going to be a bit more of an accelerated growth curve. Quantum computing is coming up as a big thing. We have Google, we have the government's creating its own quantum computing systems, and there's rumors of a few other players coming into the quantum industry. And I even wonder if Elon is playing with it, but I don't have any. I don't know. So quantum computing efforts solutions are complex, and they solve problems dynamically by having an open solution model that allows them to look at solutions in a state mode rather than in like on and offs. So it's more about coming to, I don't know, you could almost call it random solutions, but it's very interesting, right? The potential of applications include cryptography, drug development, financial modeling, and with quantum computing, we obviously have to be concerned about how it's going to affect security and the encryptions that we're using, because there's some rumors about it affecting being able to handle those in moments versus not being able to crack those over like decades. So the global quantum computing market is expected to reach 4.38 billion by 2027, with a CAGR of 30.2%. Now, investments in research and development has accelerated, particularly in U.S. and China, where we're kind of competing with each other on this. Very exciting, and there's going to be, I don't know, is it going to be trade wars over this, or is it going to be a collaboration? But it doesn't look like there's going to be a collaboration, unfortunately. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit more aggressive, but we're both nations are really competing in this field. So quantum computing is going to become a heavy market of investment. So the opportunity there is huge. Tying that in with AI, it's going to become quite phenomenal. So if you have opportunities to look in those markets or to do work or business in those markets, take a really good look at it. There's going to be a lot of players that kind of get abused in there, but there's going to be a lot of people that make some money in there, I believe. Let's take a look at blockchain. And blockchain isn't just about cryptocurrencies. It has some real world cases where it's about supply chain management, real estate, and even voting systems. All are blockchain appropriate systems, right? So you want to, whenever you have a system where you want to make sure you have a validated flow, right, from one user to the next to the next to and so on, where you can validate that multiple people aren't copying it, that it's has a chain of custody. This is where blockchain is amazing. So don't think cryptocurrencies with blockchain. While it does work for that, there's a lot of resources. Be creative. There's going to be there's a lot of money going to this. I think with the cryptocurrency market, I'm a little bit conservative on that, because I believe that there's a lot of laws that might really kind of hinder that, right, as governments get more involved. But the technology amazingly solid and useful. So I think it's something that every company should see. Does it make sense to have chain of custody, and if so, does blockchain make sense? And the market for blockchain is expected to grow from 10 billion in 2023 to around 40 billion by 2025. Some industries to watch out for are fintech companies that are implementing blockchain for faster, secure transactions, and real estate firms utilizing smart contracts for property transfer. Smart contracts is a very exciting part of blockchain and Web3. So they're also, you want to be very careful with it, as it's very technical and it comes with contracts that are very specific. Anyways, a great and exciting technology to play with. If you're investing in blockchain companies, consider diversifying into blockchain based ETFs, focusing on firms that are innovating with this technology. We can see from the graph below that the leader in blockchain solutions for is logistics and supply chains. Then we have finance, which is very strong in it. And we also have healthcare, which is an up and coming use of it. As you can imagine, in healthcare, you want to make sure that you get in documents, you're validating who that baby belongs to, for example, where those scissors are, did they make it out of the operating room, and so on. But look at this growth, right? So on this table, it's a little hard to read, but you can see that the growth rates for logistics is a little bit better than it is for finance, but there's more market in finance industry. It's a bigger industry, of course. Everybody's involved in finance. I would keep my eye on logistics and supply chains, as still there's a lot of opportunity there with a little bit less litigation on it. uh, for healthcare, ooh, it's a hard market, right? Look at how it had a little bit of a run from 23 to 24, but it's really accelerating. Into the acceleration is anticipated in 2025. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the healthcare industry, and for me, this includes wellness, meditation, fitness apps, coaching for wellness. It's a large industry. Some of it's regulated, some of it less so. So just keep in mind that blockchain isn't just about Bitcoin anymore. It's really revolutionizing how we transact and secure data. And this is a prime area for investors looking to future-proof investments. If you can figure out how to bring that into your app, it's going to help you out. Plus, not only just because it sounds good, right? Like AI sounds great, but blockchain, it's really a valid approach. And if you can tie your security in with it, you can validate ownership. You can help correct issues if accounts are abused. There's a lot of potential to it. How to ignore the green tech and stability trend, right? So climate change regulations are being pushed on companies, and companies are trying to create, just by our own desire, right, we're trying to create sustainable technologies that are going to help the environment. Government subsidies are involved, right? There's government regulations, there's consumer preferences for eco-friendly branding, right? So these are two trends to tie into and see how you can benefit. It's not just good for your company, but it's good for the world too. Also, we're if we're looking at renewable energy markets, it's expected to grow from 881.7 billion in 2023 to 1.98 trillion by 2030. I don't know about that projection, right? But I believe it's not far from it. It could be higher or lower, kind of depend on the factors. But I think no matter what, we're easily looking at a 20% increase on there year over year. And just investments in look at investments in solar, wind, battery technologies. These are all soaring. Look at energy storage solutions, right? There's one thing to get energy; it's another thing how to store it. This is just also an exciting industry if you're into that technology. I love it. Okay, so here's some big markets, some big companies to look at too. Solar energy innovations. They have investments of 500 billion. Electrical vehicle EV batteries 300 billion. Oh, batteries. I don't know what I think about that industry. Obviously, it's going to be consistent for a little bit unless there's a major breakthrough. And but I would be looking for a major breakthrough. I know there's a lot of companies trying to really having to try to find a solution on this. And if you guys are in that industry, I commend you because I really would like us to see us move away from technologies we have. Wind and energy, right? That's a $200 billion industry. Energy storage solutions, 150. And this is a market that I'm really excited about, the energy storage, because it's one thing to get energy, it's another thing to release it at a time where you can make a profit or even where it's necessary, right? So if you have all the energy at the wrong time, it doesn't matter. You need to have the supply. So I think this is going to actually be one of those hidden markets that really accelerates. And then there's hydrogen fuel technologies, which I don't know what's going to happen, right? It's an older technology, but it's still hanging in there and still very exciting in a lot of ways. So this table highlights the investments across different sectors from 2023 anticipated through 2030. So look, green tech, it's not just a trend, it's in the future, it's the way we're going to go. It's how the world gets to the next step, it's how we get to Mars, it's how we deal with each other in a way where we can not fight over resources and we can really kind of like help each other out in the world. So I think it's as a humanity moves on, I believe it's something we need to look really appreciate what God gave us. There's I think God really gave us everything we need to live in harmony. So we just have to kind of decide that we want that. Rising security. So of course, with all this money comes what people want to steal it: cyber threats. As tech is growing, so does the risk of cyber attacks, and cyber crime costs are projected to reach 110.5 trillion annually by 2025. That's insane, right? But there's a lot of abuse that's happening with people's data is being stolen. So these are things that we need to kind of consider. There's a lot of markets for insurance, for help mitigation of that, and there's a lot of companies that have been taken advantage of by hackers that are exploiting systems and trying to even just damage companies. So just I think that's something we as an industry need to look into more and to be constantly aware of is how vulnerable are we to attacks and how do we reduce that fingerprinting, especially once you get into the MVP stage and start creating client relationships and doing things that can affect people's lives. So for me, it's always like, hey, what's the minimal amount of data that you can collect that in the case that you were hacked, it was encrypted in a way that is not cannot be abused while still providing a good customer experience. And industries like banking, healthcare, and retail are the most targeted. I've also seen a lot of wellness based companies that have been targeted recently. Uh, and some kind of like the more, but it's still that's kind of goes back to the healthcare based. So insurance companies, especially. So, with increased demands, cybersecurity companies are seeing massive growth. These guys are really doing amazing, and I think we really need to love on our cybersecurity guys. And I think AI is going to make a big break into this also. So, look, it specializes in next generation firewalls and encryption technologies. We want to focus on AI driven threat detection, and that includes both detection of actual events and projection of where attacks could happen. So both detection and prediction, I think, are going to be amazing. And we can just see that based off the historical records from 2023 through 2024, it's expected to grow and it's expected to accelerate over the next couple of years as we have more AI, because people are using AI to learn how to hack through these systems. So as information spreads, so does vulnerability. Okay. And of course, we know we're in a world where data is more valuable than oil. Cybersecurity companies are becoming indispensable. And we're in a world where data is more valuable than oil. So cybersecurity companies are becoming indispensable. And so is the skill set around them. So there you have it. The top tech industry trends that you can't ignore in 2024, from AI to quantum computing, from green tech to cybersecurity. The future is bright. I'm so excited, and the opportunities are endless. So, guys, put on your working shoes and let's get to work. Just to give a quick recap, AI and machine learning are already reshaping industries. Quantum computing is fast and upcoming technology. We saw, if you just take a look at it, it went from a very small fraction last year and is expected to become a major component 2030. Blockchain, it's more than just cryptocurrencies. It's about enhancing the security. It's about enhancing chain of ownership. It's about validating possession, and it's about helping secure and communicate the flow of goods and services. Green tech, it's going to be critical for sustainability and long-term growth. Every company should be spending a little bit of time at least considering, hey, how do we work in a green, organic way? How do we improve our community? How do we improve our footprint? Right? It's one thing to produce things and use electricity and to make amazing apps. It's another thing to say, how do we make it so that what we've created not is just good for people, but we can do it in a way that's sustainable in the future. And cybersecurity is going to be the unsung hero in protecting data and in supporting your business and keep you from going out of business from bad publicity and bad stuff happening. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next video in the investor series, where we'll talk about the habits that separate successful entrepreneurs from the rest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And look, if you want to know more about succeeding in this environment, click over there.